Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop. She don't miss nothing, got the scoop on lock. Spilling all the tea while it's still too hot. Lakeysha Keysha, queen of the plot. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop. Hit that bell, cause the tea don't stop.
Hit that bell because the tea don't stop. That girl is bad, y'all. Woo, woo. I gotta link her information, honey. She is cold. But listen, y'all, we gotta jump into this tea. I know y'all want to know what's going on in these Married to Medicine street. Guess what, honey? They are giving out contracts. They telling people who coming back, who ain't coming back. Baby, and let's just say Quad, the fraud in her lies, have been exposed.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Listen, y'all, where in the hell do we begin? Because Married to Medicine is just not what it used to be. Like, I believe if nothing else, we all agree that Married to Medicine has been it's a terrible ass show. It is not what it used to be. And I don't know if I said this before. When I started watching Married to Medicine, all I saw was Black doctors, and I jumped in. I supported. I even shared the story about, going to each of their practices and then just realizing that they just are not the type of doctors that I would want to, have as my doctor, just because of the way, that we have saw them carry themselves. Now, I know the show is highly edited, but some things are just not able to be edited. Now, they can cut out stuff so that you don't get to see everything, but your response was truly your response. Now, we know that despite what the lying dentist told y'all months ago, she said they started filming. Well, that is a whole lie. And I told y'all, I said that woman is lying, because there's no way that they had started to film already without even seeing the final reunion. So that's a lie. And listen, I'm not going to be refuting a liar. Y'all know all that woman does is lie. Okay. So if you don't know that, I don't know what to tell you. But listen, honey, let's get into what is going on, in the Married to Medicine street. Now, there has been a lie that has been going around the internet, and it has totally fell flat. Some of y'all even was in my comments saying, oh, Quad is pregnant. And then you were telling me another another YouTuber said on his show that, Quad was pregnant. And then you guys even said the dirty dentist said that she was pregnant. And I just laughed, because I said, that's not true. This is what I told y'all. I said, if she is saying that she's pregnant, I mean, let's just do the math here. We just saw the reunion. Now, we know the show is taped in advance, but the reunion is actually real time. So in order for her to get pregnant from it, it doesn't add up. For one, she was obviously having issues with fertility, right? That's why she was seeing Dr. Jackie, because I guess if she could get pregnant, then she would do that, right? So something about that is not correct. And what I told you all, I said, think about it. Think about this. If you've had children before, and especially, at Quad's age, it's not like she's a spring chicken. No woman is going around telling somebody she pregnant and just found out 2 days or 3 days ago, because we all know that at least that first trimester can be very difficult. So what I told y'all, I said, listen, Quad is not pregnant. I said the only way that I would believe that she was pregnant if I actually saw a real growing tummy and not a fat stomach because you ate too much or something like that. I mean, a real pregnant stomach. I said, so if she comes back and says she had a miscarriage, I said, I'm not going to believe that. I said, let me just tell you why. I said, what is happening right now? What's happening right now is everybody is waiting on their contract. They're waiting on that letter to see if they can come back to the show, right? Is that not what they're looking for? Yeah. Yeah. So if Quad is saying that she's pregnant, what does that mean? That simply means if she's going around saying that she's pregnant now at this time, it seems as if she is trying to let the network know, hey, I got a storyline. There's a possibility that I could be pregnant. I mean, y'all, we're not going to sit up here and act like that is not what is happening. Okay? Because are you telling me now that Quad is suddenly pregnant, but apparently people are starting to catch on to it because you see it sprinkled out, but people are understanding that this is probably not true because what you see is her YouTube friends talking about it. You don't really see anybody else talking about it. So that's a clear indication that she probably or allegedly, or I mean, why would her YouTube friends be going around saying a woman is pregnant? Because they try to use their platform to help their friend. Because are you telling me that Quad is pregnant? Allegedly? No, this is a setup. This is a setup to say, I'm pregnant. Sign me up. Make sure you sign me up for another season because word on the street, or at least word in the streets of her friends, is saying that she's pregnant. And we know that it's just not true. It's just not true because letters have gone out and people have been notified about if they're going to come back or not. Quad, if you think about it, Quad stole an entire storyline of another woman. I know y'all didn't forget Sweet T's whole entire, reason, she was going to be on the show. She's going through, she wants to have a baby. So was that not Sweet T's storyline? That is what she was pursuing. And now Quad finds this man that she claimed she had been with for years, but we never saw him. But as soon as Dr. G comes on with his new wife, now Quad finds some man. And allegedly they say he got a man. Okay, now that's what the streets say. They say he got a man, but apparently he her man too. But think about that. Now Quad is suddenly pregnant. Does that make any sense? You guys are going to start to hear that you're going to, begin to know or learn who's coming back and who's not because the letters have been going out. People have been notified. So it's pretty clear that this is a story that she has facilitated through her friends on this good old YouTube streets. Because I actually went on here because people keep saying that Quad is pregnant, and I'm like, I don't believe it. But after conducting, some little research and looking and all of this, I'm like, where is this? But then after I look, I see the people that is reporting this, and these are people that's affiliated with her. Now, I don't know if you guys are on Facebook. If you are, make sure you're following me at Lakeysha Keysha, okay? So make sure you're doing that. But if you are on Facebook, there is a group called, I believe it's Married to Medicine. I believe that's what it's called. But I believe that group is actually ran by Dr. Heavenly and Quad. And I'm going to tell you why. Because people have told me specifically when they would go to those groups and mention my videos, everybody would just get upset. So why would strangers get upset about my videos? I don't know those people, unless those particular, Facebook groups is really run by Quad and Heavenly, because in the groups, they're saying the same thing. Quad is pregnant. So this is a fake false narrative that's being put out, because Quad is too fighting for her life, because the fans been saying, they didn't just start saying, the fans have been saying that Quad is not married to medicine. The crazy part about it is Quad argued with y'all about it, because in her mind, she thinks she's married to medicine. And for the life of me, I don't know what the hell this lady does that makes her think she's married to medicine, which, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So like I said, you guys are going to start to, hear information about who is coming back and who is not coming back, because that information has been released. Now, again, with regards to Quad, now, if you guys have heard or saw this online, put a 1 in the chat if you have saw these stories online about Quad allegedly being pregnant, which, again, I'm going to say it again, these stories are being facilitated by people who are friends with her. Because guess what? If I'm friends with somebody and I come out and say, this person, or, let's say I'm friends with somebody named Maria, and you all know me and Maria as friends, and I say, Maria is pregnant. What are you guys going to do? You're going to believe me, because you know that I am friends with Maria. You see how that works? So when you choose your friend to help you spread a false narrative, it becomes powerful, because guess what? Now all of that friend's followers now believe it, because they like, wait a minute, this is coming from such and such said that this, she's pregnant. So you guys just be aware of that, with regards to Quad being pregnant. And in all honesty, y'all, I don't believe this woman wants a child. Maybe here's the deal. And I think I mentioned this before. She may want a child. She may not want one from King, because in all honesty, people have been saying he liked men. Now, this is allegedly, that's what the streets say. I have received information of one of the people that he is supposed to be in a relationship with. And it's kind of odd that people would say that, and not 1-2 people. A lot of people are saying that. So I don't know what's going on with this relationship. Maybe, she doesn't mind. I don't know. But it seems like this is a relationship of convenience. And just as you guys have said before, I feel like when Quad is done with this man, she's going to dispose of him. And who knows what she'll say? Who knows? Maybe she'll come out and say, maybe that'll be her storyline. Like, I didn't know that he had a man. Like, who knows? But like I said, you guys are going to start to hear the information with regards to who's coming back and who's not. And like I said, Quad is holding on for dear life, her entire life, because she wants to come back. Now, we're not going to sit up here and act like Quad ain't desperate, honey, because we done saw her fight for her entire effing life on this show. Think about it. They put her ass out. She was crying, not for anything else other than she had been put off this show. So she managed to ooze and squeeze her way back in. She's back in there now, and she's going to do whatever it takes to remain on this show. So one thing, guys, make sure you guys are following me over on Snapchat at Lakeysha Keysha. And again, I got some more information, but I'm trying to hold it a little bit, because it's not really my, information to release. Like, I'm not messy like that. I know stuff about people that I don't really mention, because, there's a time and a place for everything. But just keep y'all eyes open, because some information is going to soon be revealed about who's staying, who's going, and y'all be able to know.